Ooh, I don't know if I like this angle. Let me get my life together. Okay. What is up, y'all? Happy hump day to all. If you are tuning in, we are streaming live on multiple platforms. So if you have joined in, say hey, say hey, say hey. Look, shout out to the Instagram fam. I see you guys pulling up. If you are on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just say hey so I can know. I can see your comments and I would love to interact with you. Today, y'all, I'm gonna talk about look, you need to stop telling yourself no. Hey, JB T40. Hey, One Smart Libra. Hey, girl. Hey, how y'all doing? Look, I want to talk back at y'all. Hey, Michelle and STL. I love your content, honey. We went to go see the lights because we watched your content yesterday. And let me tell you something. My baby slept the whole time we were there. It was ridiculous. Okay, but I had a good time. We made it into like a little makeshift date night. So shout out to you, y'all. Look, and let me just say this, y'all. It's the end of the year. Like, just tell people congratulations. Tell them how they impacted your life. Like, you don't know how people impact you in whatever way it might be, y'all. Just give people their flowers while they're here. I'm so glad it makes you happy, girl. Because look here, I be watching. Look, I be watching. We actually even went to Candy Cane Lane for the first time. I am 34, and I did not know that Candy Cane Lane existed in South City. So we went there after we went there because my baby was asleep, and then stopped by the hill. So y'all, we made a whole date night yesterday just from watching someone's content. I labeled this. Let me introduce myself because we got some folks on multiple platforms popping in. If you are here, say hey so I can shout you out, so I can say hey to you. Look here, because we want to talk to the people today. We came to serve the people today. My name is Brittany Raji Alberti, and I am the founder of Rich Mamas Club, which is a social emotional wellness community for mom entrepreneurs. I am also the founder of the Marketing Midwife Consulting Firm, which is transitioning, which I'm so excited to say, y'all. I was kind of even nervous about popping up on here because look here, y'all, the girl will pivot real easy. My baby is ringing the doorbell right now. my husband just picked her up from school and they're coming in here, so she might pop in this room at any minute. Matter of fact, let me even press turn off this thing so she can't pop in my off. Oh, I did it already. Look here. Because I be ahead of myself. Be ahead of myself, okay? Because look here, the girl will come bust in here and do it. It will be Amara's live stream and not Brittany's anymore. So I titled this, first and foremost, y'all, we still have 13 days left in this year. You can still be setting yourself up for the best year of your life. And I truly believe that if you plan and you prepare for it, you can have it. That's how I feel. And it's also just about who you're being in this season and how you're showing up. And if you desire to have that, that's it. So if you are needing support with planning out your 2025, I'm having a session called My Brand Plan. Let me tell y'all, this year was super fruitful for me. Even though the revenue wasn't what I made last year, I worked so much easier and I saw a different pathway that I never saw before. Typically, I work with clients one-on-one, and in 2025, I am not working with clients one-on-one. So if you are interested, like in doing my last one-on-one sessions, look, I really need my brand plan. I really need to know how I can do my marketing initiatives. I really need to shift my social media strategy so I'm not just serving and not getting anything out of it. I want to know how I can amplify my online and my in-person efforts so that they're aligned completely. Then I want to be that girl to sit down with you and help you to come up with your brand plan for 2025. We are booking these sessions up into the first week of July. She said, girl, I seen you in Chicago last year. Honored to see you go. Oh, that's so sweet. Shout out to you, JBK40. Look, I mean, JBT. Look, my dyslexia is popping up in this joint. Like, it's popping up. So I appreciate that so much. So anyway, y'all, I wanted to get into the message. If I could get into the message, throw some love in the chat. Throw some love in the chat if you're watching. If you're saying, say hey, let me know that you're right. And I want to get into this message. Stop telling yourself no. The reason I named this Stop Telling Yourself No is because so many of us make it harder than it has to be. We're telling, we are hearing all the no's before we even ask. I was literally just having some of my final wrap ups with some of my one-on-one clients. Like I said, I'm transitioning out of it. I'm starting group coaching again. Hey, if you want to, letting them know, hey, how we've had this existing relationship, I want my time back. I have been telling myself, no, well, it won't be effective. And, in a group setting, we tried that before and people didn't like it. They fell off. But I am done telling myself no. Like, I want my time back, and I'm so excited to be transitioning into group coaching for women entrepreneurs and really putting in the business development, marketing, connections, all those things inside of the Rich Impact Access suite. Super excited about that, right? But as I was talking to this one particular client, she had every idea in her head, just telling herself no. I'm like, hey, have you asked this? Well, no, I never thought about that. Or no, it wasn't this. It was just everything I had asked her was a no. And the reason why I wanted to name this no is, are you that person that's frequently telling yourself no? Are you saying no, they won't accept that? No, well, like that won't work. Like stop telling yourself no, because everything is negotiable. That's one thing. And two, everything is figure outable. Okay, it's negotiable and figure outable. And if it's not aligned, if it's not a good fit for that person, it's okay. Like, stop. We have to really stop toxic loyalty. That's a whole nother thing. I don't know if y'all can hear my baby in the background, but my baby gonna be in the background for right now. There's a sense of toxic loyalty to other people where you become disloyal to yourself and you stay in this cycle of where you're never getting what you need. And I can say for a long time that has been me, right? So in my year of yes, in my year of transitioning and getting what I need and making sure that I am full, like I'm like, dang, oh, I was gonna go speak at that conference, but I don't know if I want to do that because I don't want to work every weekend right now. I don't want to, like, there's so many things where I'm just choosing not to do. So what is it in your life where you say, oh, well, people won't go for that? Here's the thing, the right people will. Like, I don't know, like, look, I'm a recovering ratchet. I'm gonna just have to say this, y'all. I still remember all these really, really ratchet hip hop songs from when I was a kid. And I don't know if y'all remember, it was this song with Lil Wayne. He said, look, for him she won't, but for he she will. There are some people like this, like, hey, that they are a no person. They're going to say no, but for the right person, they will. And if you have groomed the relationship enough, if you have nurtured it enough, if they see the value enough, they will. Some people will. Like, I'm telling you, a lot of my biggest deals told me no the first time. Shout out to Kamala Harris. And I think somebody else said this. I don't know if she was the first person to say it, but she was the last person I heard say it, that you should eat no for breakfast, right? Like, letting other people tell you no, that's fine. But like, you can say no. Like the retreat that I do in New Orleans every single, like for the last 2 years that we went, well, the first year I reached out to them, they told me no, right? The next year we end up doing the retreat after they told me no, because I followed up, I negotiated, and I made the deal so sweet that they weren't gonna tell me no again. It's like, who is this girl? She's super consistent. They didn't switched over staff and they still willing to work with me because the value is still there. But the thing is, you got to get it through your own head. You can't tell yourself no first. If you're telling yourself no, if you're not willing to show up, if you're not willing to even put the axe out there and believe that you're worthy enough for a yes, then you're gonna get out of the game before it even starts. And a lot of us, we're not in the game because you're telling yourself no. Is this making sense to anybody? If y'all hear me, if I'm not talking to myself, let me know. Are you that person where you're like, well, I don't know. Oh, hold on. One smart Libra, she said a great book about it. It's called Go for No, a really good read. Honey, I have not read that, and I am a book girly. Here, Go for No. I love that. I'm going to go look up that book when we get off of here. Shout out to you, my good girlfriend. Look here. Let me tell y'all something. If you constantly tell yourself no, you never know how many, like, sometimes I used to get surprised back in the day when people would say yes. But now I expect a yes. I expect a yes from them, or somebody who is aligned, who sees the value, who sees the worth, and they're going to say yes to me. So the first thing is, like, stop telling yourself no and just go for it. And when you hear the no, like, it's really just a not yet, or oh, this is not a line, or it's not the right time. Like, it is really not like a definite close. Like, so many of the best partnerships that I've ever had came from time and nurturing over time and playing the long game, right? So I wanted to put that out there. Michelle and STL said, this is great advice. No is such a powerful word, and sometimes we shouldn't give it that power. That's true. So let me put on a flip side to this. Like, stop telling yourself no, and then stop giving everybody else these premature yeses, right? Again, let's go into that toxic loyalty that we have for other people, because every time you say a yes to somebody else, you're telling yourself a no. So for me, like I said, switching to now going back to group coaching and then having putting all of my clients on retainers and moving from like, hey, these 4-figure services are no longer available. I'm going for 5-figure and plus packages, unless it's, unless it's something that's beneficial. I'm just saying this, look, y'all, I like everything's negotiable, but I understand what I want in my life. I don't want to work every weekend again. I don't want to miss my daughter. Is like, these are her formative years. She's 3. It's some stuff that's gonna happen now that's not gonna happen again. I don't want to miss all of that. So if I'm working every weekend, if I'm hosting events, if I'm putting on event productions, if I'm working with one-on-one clients and going to their site, I'm gonna miss all of the things that I did this for. I did this to be more of a present parent. I did this to have a better relationship and be able to have that flexibility and autonomy. And sometimes we be building stuff that don't match what we want. So every end of the year, which is why I do these planning sessions and why I'm so transparent about growth and what that looks like and different opportunities, is because we'll again have that toxic loyalty, and we'll stay in a situation that no longer fits what you need to have, right? So yes, I'm still a coach. Yes, I'm still a consultant. Yes, I'll have these other things, but I don't be saying no a whole lot more to other people and not to myself, because usually it's like, well, no, well, you can't do that because people will feel us some type of way, or you can't do that because people will start thinking, like, I don't care anymore. Like, let me tell you, my no is for me first. Like, I mean, for you first. My yes is for me first, and then my no is going to be like, the thing is, like, your year of yes has to be yes to the things that make more sense to you, that are like, what's the word? I always try to make mutually beneficial situations, but sometimes you got to be selfish. And in a season where and I'm not gonna say, like, I'm gonna say, you have to be self-serving first, because a lot of us, we are recovering people pleasers. We're recovering like people who have gone. Amara, calm down, baby. You want to come in here with mommy? Are you going to be quiet on my live stream? Okay, I'm gonna come get you. Are you gonna be quiet? Let me go get my child, y'all. Hold on. You got a potty? Come on in. Come on. Welcome my special guest. Come here, baby. Come here. Now she gonna do all of that and then shut me back out. I'm done. This is what, again, toddler parenting 101. But it's some stuff I don't want to miss, and I don't want to have to be like, oh, I gotta do these. Like, that's why I don't do no set live streams no more. I don't have a lot of the structure that I feel like a lot of other people require of consultants. It's because I got a 3-year-old and she the boss. That's it. She's the boss. She runs everything, and I'm cool with that. So I'm saying all this to say, like, in what areas are you telling yourself no? Which is why, like, now, like, hey, a lot of these one-on-one sessions, I'm not gonna be doing one-offs. I'll probably still do VIP days, but I'm going to charge double for the amount of them, and they're going to come with a lot of digital resources. Why, like, shout out to my coach. She was like, hey, why aren't you still in the process of that? I'm like, yeah, oh, I did that event for $200. She's like, okay, where's the ebook? So I sat down, I was like, okay, well, let me put together the event venue, the event hack handbook. Like, and let me tell you how I've gotten majority of the venues I've ever used for free or for a low cost discount in multiple cities, in multiple states. Like, I've done this with time, not timeshares, with vacations. I've done this with conferences. I've done this with hotels. Like, the same play. It's foolproof, right? It's not something that came in with AR technology or something that I Googled. It's a proven strategy that I've used over and over again. So I'm in my year of no, I'm not going to sit down and let you pick my brain, but you can buy the ebook, right? And I don't care if people don't like ebooks and courses and stuff anymore. My yes to myself is like, let me free up my time. Like, hey, if you read this, you're going to get the result. So now move into, like, what is going to be the most beneficial for you in your life, taking that into all the things into consideration. Like I said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, like all of those things. And like, I like, especially like losing my dad and my grandma in the last couple of years, like, I cherish moments with my family now more than ever, right? Like, definitely wanted to be present and show up in different ways. So how are you evaluating the things that happen in your life. Like, what was a success? How are you even measuring? Like, I don't think anything's a failure. Like, the L is a lesson, right? So how are you even taking into considerations the lessons that you learn, and how are you using them to pivot in the future? So for me, when I'm planning, I'm looking at like, oh, like what went really well? What didn't go so well, and what do we need to maneuver through? So even though it is more uncomfortable, shout out to the networking king. See you pulled up in here. How you doing, sir? Whatever was successful for me, how can I make more successful, but buying back some of my time. So for me in 2025, a lot of my contracts, I was looking at like, okay, hey, I want to get to this revenue. I got these two revenue streams. If I duplicated them, by just two more things, like, but I'm like, oh, hold on, I got to do 20 hours and individual one-on-one consulting. So that's not the play. So really looking at those things and evaluating like, oh, when I have that one-on-one client, yes, it's a four-figure contract, but yo, like you want me to do too much and I don't want to show up like that anymore. So, like, again, evaluating, like, okay, these are some things that I do well, but how can I do them differently for a different result? And that's how you start telling yourself yes. Like, yes, I want more of my time. Yes, I value this differently. Yes, I still want to have an impact and connect people and do all these other things, but how can I do them more strategically? I hope that people are thinking and your wheels are turning. Like, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm like planning to do a new digital product every single week. Like, I was like, I was like, oh, ChatGPT, hold on, we're gonna put this in here. So we just gonna talk about the venues this time, but now I'm gonna talk about how I get in-kind donations and sponsorships in the next one. And then I'm gonna talk about how I did a retreat for $1,000 and then got the $1,000 back at the end. And then I'm gonna talk about how I sell out these events in multiple different cities using one play and no pay ads. And here's the thing, y'all, no disrespect to pay ads. Like, if I had the money, I would do it. But here's the thing, when you don't have the money, you got to be creative. That's why I always recommend anybody to read the book The Power of Broke, because sometimes, like, you thinking you need a whole lot more than you do, and you really don't, which is why you need a good relationship with someone who you can learn from their mistakes. Like, that's one thing. If I say anything else, I'm a person where I learn by doing, and reputation and all those things. She said, look, yes, I am building my value ladder for sure. I have been a person who I really love one-on-one connection, right? Like, I can spend an hour talking to people over nothing, because I am highly relational. Like, I love like building relationships, getting to know people. Like, I send out holiday cards to all of my clients. I every single month, all of the members inside of Rich Mamas Club, especially premium members, I'm checking on them in some type of way, whether it's a phone call, a text, or like, I'm very, very big on relationships. And it's not a strategy, it's just a part of who I am. But what I learned is, like, a lot of people were hiring me as a consultant to do some of those things, and it's not who I am. Like, it's not what I do, it's who I am. So you really can't sell who you are to people. If that, well, let me say, I haven't figured out who to sell, how, like how I show up in the world. Look here, I'll let you pull up in this joint. Look, so I'm streaming on a few different platforms. I'm gonna let you pop up in here for a second. But we on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all the other stuff on StreamYard. So I'm just doing this one from my phone, but feel free to pop up in here. What's up, the networking king?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Of course, I'm driving right now.
Yes, be safe. Look, and then you gonna request to be in a whole video while you driving.
Listen, I ain't gonna look at you, but I can listen though.
I'm here for it. No, let's pop off into this, because one, you and I have been in some of the same rooms. We follow some of the same like coaches and know some of the same, like, so. Like, for me, I titled this Stop Telling Yourself No, because I know for me, because I am big on relationships and I come from a nonprofit background where you touch everything, and also have some of that people pleasing where I want to over deliver and all this other stuff, that I left a lot of money on the table the last few years. But not beyond the money. I'm in a place of like, I want my time back. I got a 3-year-old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still like, technically, I grinded out all of my newlywed years. Now we like it's just some stuff that you want to do differently. So the reason I titled this, and the reason I'm doing planning sessions and just coming out with digital products now, is because, like, hey, I still can add value to people. I can still do this. Like, hey, I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore. We're doing group stuff. So you can join this group retainer, right? And you can buy this digital product. And I know that there's been an overwhelming amount of that, but it doesn't take away from your value and how you show up. So tap in with us, King. What you got for us? What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been there and relate. You know, it's definitely something where I have to automate more of myself as well, and the knowledge that I have in terms of selling your knowledge. So let's be clear for those who who are watching this, and I don't know if you're gonna have it as a replay or not, but either way, it's one of those things where, like, as we're talking about building out your ladder, your value ladder, right? There's, by my definition, and I'm sure it's very similar definitions or whatever, but value ladder is by definition an ecosystem where of products and services where people can get to know, like, and trust you no matter what their budget. As far as get to know, like, you're getting to know, like, and trust your business, your brand, no matter what their budget. Specifically for service-based businesses where you're selling knowledge, essentially.
Yeah.
So, what's going on socially yours? That's I know who that is. Miss Wilborn, what's good? Yeah. So all of that being said, there's essentially 5 levels, 5 types of offers that you need to have in order to own your own time. And that's your free offer, your low-end offer, your mid-end offer, your high-end offer, and your premium offer. Mm-hmm. And you sound like me when I first started with my agency, and like I'm starting to get into it now, where it's like, I focused starting out, and a lot of us focus starting out on just the one-on-one, mm-hmm. which is the premium offer. Mm-hmm. Your premium offer is your one-on-one time. It's that coach. Some people do the coaching. For those of us for those that call themselves coaches, I do not consider myself a coach.
Yeah.
For those that do with the coaching, the consulting services, your one-on-one services where somebody wants you to do the done-for-you service kind of deal, that is premium.
Yeah.
That's a premium service. And essentially, it should be so high that cost of that price should be so high that, essentially, you don't want them to call you for that service at all. You want them to actually, you want to kind of, and if they do call you, you're like, all right, I'm not going to bitch moan about it too much, just for the simple fact that, you know what, they paid my price.
Yeah. But even getting out, like, going back to, like, stop telling yourself no. Like, I started off with more premium offers, and then, like, I work with moms, right? So I noticed how that 4-figure retainer sometimes was just shaking my heart for that. So now I do have a, like, a philanthropic arm where I have physical sponsorship where I can get funding in to, like, I had to create creative ways for me to be still have community impact and serve people. But here's the thing, like, you can get wrapped up in serving so much that you forget to serve yourself. And that's where I feel like, like, that's where this has come in. Like, I still have my contracts with the Women's Business Center, and then, like, the grants and stuff that'll come in. But, like, for real, I just want my time back. I don't want to be available for everybody. I don't want you to feel like you can call me and text me and that I'm available like an assistant, because I'm not an assistant. I'm a consultant.
And that's the other thing with building that value ladder, right? When you build it out, the truth of the matter is, like, as you build out your value ladder, like, or as people go up your value ladder, they get more and more access to it. Mm-hmm. But essentially, they're not supposed to get that much access to you, as a free offer. What you're getting them to do subconsciously when you build out a value ladder is you're getting people to value your time.
Yes.
And to value your knowledge, and to to value your services, to value the brand. They're not going to do it just generally speaking, just because you want them to, just because you say, oh, I'm worth this, and this. They don't care about that. You have to actually present your knowledge and what you offer in a way that is digestible. And the only way that it's really digestible for all, because let's be also clear about this. Just because somebody actually has $20,000 in their pocket to invest with somebody, people like to be cheap a lot of times.
Yes, they will. And Brand, okay, so look, you coming from an agency standpoint, and I've been running a firm for the last 2 years and paying contractors. A lot of your 6 and 7 figure businesses that can afford it real easy will try to nickel and dime you and try to put you on these funny, like, so it is like, I think, and it's really cool to even have this conversation with another person that offers services. Like, you're in, like, I've seen your, your videography and your photography services in real time, and often, like, from a perspective of someone who does content and social media takeovers and MCing and a lot of creative services around social media, people are paying for that energy, and people don't understand, like, yes, you have energy, but that energy, like, creative energy is, I feel like you can't even put a price tag on it, or you wouldn't want it so much. You get what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't really, like, it's really interesting. So anyway, you just like sparked a whole new thing in there for me. Like, so people think that, like, yes, like, hey, this is a 7 figure, and everybody should be out looking for people that they can afford in their price range, right? But also value stuff at a certain standpoint, like, where I'm like, yeah, I can't give up. Get somebody else. Like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, find somebody else.
Yeah. So I mean, the way I've learned to accept this, and it kind of dawned on me, is just like, putting myself in the mindset of when I'm a consumer, be like, just simple purchases, simple type of stuff, right? Like, you go to, back in the days, for those of us who went to the mall or still go to the mall, whatever,
Yeah.
And you got those kiosks that you walk by, and somebody trying to pass out something or try to get you to sample something or XYZ, or say, hey, I got a sale going on, only $10, only this, only that, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I ain't got it today. And you walk by and you do got it.
Yeah.
But I ain't got it for you. That's what we really not saying. I ain't got it. I do got it, but I ain't got it for you.
Facts. And feeling unapologetic about it too. Like, I could say, for me, being a woman, and also one being a woman, being a black woman that is a mother, and then also being a black woman that is a mother that came from a nonprofit industry where you do everything, you touch everything, you don't complain. Like, that's just, like, this has been one of the hardest habits to break, to not people please.
Yeah. So, just even understanding all of that, it's like, if that's what we're doing, yeah, I got it, but I ain't got it for you. I mean, think about all the people who we know, and we've seen. We've got eyes, right? So, I've even seen it with my parents, growing up. It's like, they'll tell me how much they ain't got money or whatever, even for my own damn services that they need. And then they'll go sit here and buy cars. And it's like, but usually they're trying to treat me just as bad as the other people out here with, couple $100 videos, and family and friends do that all the time, right?
But what's so funny? I've never had that with my family. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I kid you not, my dad was a little cheap, but my grandma, my mom, my aunt, they would never ask for a discount. Never whatsoever, and will always pay whatever the price was. So that was also something that haggling. But here's the flip side to that. I also married a Nigerian in my first marriage, and went to Africa, and also grew up around Africans. So knowing that haggling and negotiating is a powerful tool, and it's something that should be done. But just also knowing, like you said, going into that value ladder of, like, what can I give for free? What is low ticket? And then also, what is that? Like, hey, no, like, we can't do that. Like, that's not something that is negotiable. Here's a boundary here that, like, yeah, we can't go past that. And I feel like that, if nothing else, that is my biggest takeaway from 2024, is like, you don't have to give away your premium work. You don't have to give away your premium work.
It's so, even again, going back to the mall concept, you go in the food court, right? And you walk by some of these joints, what they gonna do? Especially the Chinese restaurants, what they gonna do? They gonna offer you that sample.
Yeah, very small part of that sample.
Free samples. It's like, all right, so I don't know you. I don't know, like, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust, especially when it's not a product-based business. And so, therefore, when the service-based business is like, you better believe they got to know that you exist.
Yeah.
They got to figure out if they like you, figure out if they like what you're offering, how you move your team if you have one, you know, your reputation, all of that, and then do I trust you? And then trust goes to 3 levels. The first part is, do I trust you? Mm-hmm. The second part is, do I trust you with my money? The third part is, how much of my money do I trust you with?
That's good.
And so, yeah. So all of that being said, again, going back to that simple mall food court example. All right. So we in the food court. I'm hungry, or maybe I wasn't hungry or something like that. And I wasn't even having a taste for XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the mood for something else or whatever. But you know what? Free sample. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this free sample. Try it. And right then, you know what? I liked what you was offering me. I'm going to go buy right there.
Yeah.
I like the product. Now I know that you exist because I got the sample. Mm-hmm. You opened your mouth and said, hey, I got a sample for you. Try this out. Okay, bet. All right, now, you know what? I tried it. I liked it. You know what? All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Or I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to buy later. I'm going to come back. How many times people come back? It's like, you know what? I'm going to keep you in mind for later. But then at the same time, you have to sometimes do more marketing or whatever, you know, to be able to stay top of mind. Facts. It's the same exact thing.
Facts.
And then, you know what? And then they buy. And then it's like, okay, and cool. And you might have, and then let's go again with the food court example. You know, you come back to that same restaurant or whatever, you can come into the mall another time. You wasn't even in the mood for what they was offering, you know, but you tried and it's like, you know what? That sweet and sour chicken is hitting today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but okay, so that goes into something like that's very key, like we said, like the visibility of it. So like you said, doing more marketing. A lot of people, like, they expect for people just to remember, but top of mind is top of grind. So you still need to be getting out there, having yourself visible, having like literally being in front of like the ideal people to buy it. So like I love that, like when the malls were popping, people would go out to the malls, that like the people would be out serving the food. But again, they didn't have to come, like there were some businesses that did not come from behind the counter and give out those samples. Typically those were businesses though that were chain restaurants.
Yep.
That had visibility, that had marketing budgets, that had so it's so crazy that a lot of businesses that don't invest in marketing, you don't do pay, like you don't go to conferences, you don't do all of that, but you expect the same effect of if someone was going out and holding the tray. So I think that was like a great analogy of like visibility is key, consistency is key, having the value letter is key. And for me, y'all, like I ain't even gonna lie, I had digital products, and when Clubhouse was popping, the digital products, like I had really great days. But my heart to want to serve and be there more, like all the other stuff, right? Like really shifted that. But I'm really excited to now, like every week I'm committing myself, like what are some of the common things, the threads that my clients have had, and putting into a digital ebook and putting into a video course. And then, hey, after you've done this and this, if you still need help, then here's the price, right? And that's something I took away for a few years.
Yeah. So again, you know, for those watching, like your free offer, have a sample.
Yeah.
Have a sample of something, you know, and a sample could be like a free ebook, you know, a free video course, you know, a free training, a free webinar, or whatever, something like that. It could be something as as simple as just a podcast episode, you know. It could be a free Q&A or whatever on IG Live like this or something like that, you know. It could be any of those things. You know, but you have that, and once you have things like, say, like your digital products, like some of the things we were just talking about, once you have those, I mean, you can sell those over and over and over again, right? So those also can double as your low-end offers, you know. So your free offers are, of course, free. Your low-end, to me, for my definition, is anything under $1,000. You know, generally speaking. Why do I say anything under $1,000? For some of us who make a certain amount of money, well, you know, $1,000 may be a lot to you, but your definition of broke is not necessarily the same definition of broke for somebody else.
Yeah.
So let's be clear about something here. $200, anything in my opinion, $200 or less is considered considered an impulse buy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because for people who are grown and been having, steady jobs, steady income for a minute and make at least $50,000 or more a year. $200, you'll blow that in the club. You blow that on lunch. You blow that on.
I don't do that. I'm a mom. I pay for tuition, so that ain't my lifestyle. But look, shout out to the people who can do that.
And I ain't saying that for those of us who don't, it is okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm not talking about you, but there's somebody that quote unquote blows $200 on lunch, dinner, breakfast, brunch, a date.
He in Atlanta, y'all. Look, for people who ain't saying, look, he live in Atlanta. All right, they do things different in Atlanta.
Well, it's even.
No, I'm joking. You good. I feel you. Yeah.
It don't really matter where you at because these days it's like with inflation, it's like hell.
Yeah, that's real.
$200 don't get you very far depending on what.
Look here. So look, I'm gonna even I went to Starbucks earlier and I only had a $5 bill and I was like, I can't even get a cup of coffee with a $5 bill.
Right.
I'm like, well,
that's
look. Yeah.
$200 don't go that far no more.
No.
Like how much a dinner for two, like these days, is going to, if you sit here and do regular dinner for two itself, as well as, you throw some drinks in there or whatever. Back in college, I could sit here and take the chick to, say something like Chili's or Applebee's or, one of those. And they're still relatively around $30-$40, but it can easily, I think they probably gone up. I haven't been in years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bill is more like $50-$60 easy. And that's
and it don't even be good quality food. So it's like, yeah, no, I feel that.
That's without drinks. So like, you start throwing drinks and everything in there, it's like the bill is easily like $100, $80 to $100. And that's if you was conservative with it.
Facts. Lord, oh my gosh. Okay, so this stream has been on over 30 minutes. My family is home now. So look, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to wrap up over here on IG, and then I'm going to go finish cooking dinner. But again, just the synopsis of this. Like, stop telling yourself no. Understand what those sacred pillars are for you, and it's okay to adjust them. Like, it is the biggest disservice you can do to yourself is to continue to be loyal to things that no longer serve you. So when things shift, and when it's necessary, feel free to make the executive decision in your life to make a new decision, right? So those of you who want to come and plan with me doing your brand plan, I would love to have you. That investment is $997. We have 4 more seats left. And y'all, I'm nervous and excited, Brandon, because this is my last lower ticket seat thing. As I did the 97 brunches and happy hours and stuff. But I'm like, okay, we are 4 and 5-figure packages now. The results have been there. We've done the 5-figure activations, the 5-figure events. We've gotten so many different results. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So I'm really stepping out of the space of what we're doing. No more one-on-ones. It's only group. And the investment is the investment outside of the digital products. And I'm really feeling some type of way about it, but I'm leaning into that discomfort, y'all, because I want my time back. So anyway, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I will see y'all later, and I'm gonna finish this conversation on IG. Feel free to just follow me on IG if you want to tap in with more of the conversation. It's just my name, Brittany Raji Alberti, on LinkedIn. On Instagram, and I'll see y'all later. Bye. All right, IG fam and Brandon, what we closing out with? What are we closing out with over here?
I'm gonna give you some food for thought to challenge you on that because I know because I've